Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Your mind is your most powerful asset. Not your muscles, not your bank account, not your job title. It's your mind. And yet so many people spend hours training their bodies, planning their careers, building wealth, but neglect the very tool that drives it all. You have to take the time to train your mind. If you don't, the world will train it for you with negativity, with fear, with doubt. Life will hit you hard. And if your mind isn't prepared, you'll fold under the pressure. But when you condition your mind, when you sharpen it, you become unstoppable. Let me tell you something. Motivation alone isn't enough. Motivation is like a spark. It'll get you started, but you need discipline to keep the fire burning. Every morning when you wake up, you have two choices. Focus on what's wrong or focus on what you're going to do about it. Train your mind to choose the latter. And I get it. It's easy to be positive when things are going your way. But what about when life knocks you down, when the bills pile up, when people doubt you? That's when your mental training is tested. That's when you find out if you've been doing the work or just going through the motions. You have to feed your mind just like you feed your body. Read things that challenge you. Listen to things that inspire you. Surround yourself with people who elevate you. And most importantly, talk to yourself like you're someone you care about. Stop beating yourself up. Stop letting that inner critic run the show. Replace that voice with one that says, I can, I will, I must. Do you want to know the difference between people who succeed and people who settle? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's their mindset. Successful people train their minds to see opportunity where others see obstacles. They program themselves to push forward when everything says stop. That's not a coincidence, it's conditioning. Look, you wouldn't expect to get fit going to the gym once a month, right? The same applies to your mind. This is daily work. It's waking up every morning and choosing gratitude. It's visualizing success before you see it. It's holding on to belief when doubt creeps in. It's pushing through the fear, the excuses, the comfort zone. Your mind will either be your greatest weapon or your biggest limitation. And here's the truth. You're in control of which it becomes. Don't wait for life to force you to get stronger. Train now, prepare now. Because when the storms come, and they will, you'll stand firm. Not because you got lucky, but because you put in the work. So I'm asking you, no, I'm challenging you. Commit to yourself. Take the time to train your mind. Decide today that you will no longer be a prisoner of fear, doubt, or negativity. Decide that you are worth the effort, the discipline, the sacrifice. Because once your mind is strong, there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that can stop you. Your mind is your most powerful asset. Train it daily. Everything you experience, every decision you make, and every action you take begins with a thought. Your mind is the control center of your life. If your thoughts are scattered, negative, or undisciplined, your results will reflect that. But when your mind is sharp, focused, and trained, you gain the ability to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and shape your future with intention. Think about it. Your mind processes thousands of thoughts each day. How many of those thoughts are moving you forward? How many are pulling you back? Training your mind isn't just about thinking positively. It's about gaining control over your mental patterns, your focus, and your internal dialogue. Most people don't realize how much their thoughts dictate their lives. They wake up, go through the motions, and react to whatever life throws at them. But you're not most people. If you want to rise above average, you need to approach your mind like a muscle. You wouldn't expect to get stronger by lifting weights once a month, right? The same applies to your mind. Consistent training is key. Training your mind means becoming aware of what you're feeding it. Are you constantly consuming negative news, gossip, or self-doubt? Or are you immersing yourself in learning, growth, and empowering messages? What you feed your mind becomes your reality. If you pour in negativity, you'll see the world through a lens of fear and limitation. If you fill it with inspiration, knowledge, and purpose, you'll start to notice opportunities, solutions, and new possibilities. The mind is like fertile soil. It doesn't care what you plant. It will grow whatever seeds you sow. Plant seeds of doubt, and you'll harvest hesitation. Plant seeds of confidence, and you'll reap action. You have to be intentional about what you're allowing into your mental space because your mind is always listening. That inner voice, the one that says, I can't or I'm not good enough, is only as strong as you allow it to be. Training your mind means challenging that voice, replacing it with a stronger, more empowering one that says, I can handle this and I am capable. Focus is another crucial part of mental training. In a world full of distractions, your ability to direct your attention is like a superpower. Social media, emails, texts, there's always something pulling at you. But here's the truth. What you focus on expands. If you constantly focus on problems, you'll feel overwhelmed. If you focus on solutions, you'll find them. Training your mind means learning to control your focus, to redirect your thoughts when they wander into negativity or doubt. It's about catching yourself when you start spiraling into what ifs and pulling yourself back to what can I do right now. Your mind will resist at first. It's wired for comfort, not growth, but the more you practice, the stronger you get. Your beliefs are another part of your mental conditioning. What you believe about yourself sets the ceiling for your success. If you believe you're destined to fail, you won't even try. If you believe you're capable, you'll push through obstacles. Training your mind means questioning those limiting beliefs you've been carrying. Where did they come from? Are they even true? Most of the limitations you face are mental constructs. Stories you've told yourself over and over until they became your reality. But here's the good news. You can rewrite those stories. Every day is a chance to reinforce empowering beliefs like, I have what it takes, and I deserve success. This isn't about arrogance. It's about reclaiming your power and recognizing that you are capable of more than you've given yourself credit for. Another aspect of training your mind is developing emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable. You'll face setbacks, disappointments, and moments when things don't go as planned. An untrained mind crumbles under pressure, gets consumed by frustration or self-pity. A trained mind, however, adapts. It feels the emotions, but doesn't get controlled by them. It asks, what can I learn from this, instead of, why me? Emotional resilience isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about managing them so they don't derail you. This comes from regular mental training, practicing gratitude, reframing negative situations, and maintaining perspective even when things get tough. Gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful mental exercises. When you train your mind to focus on what's good in your life, you shift from a mindset of scarcity to abundance. It's easy to dwell on what you lack or what's going wrong, but that only fuels frustration. Training your mind means consciously redirecting your thoughts toward what you have, what's working, and what you can build upon. This doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means approaching them from a place of strength rather than deficiency. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel better, it primes your brain to notice more opportunities, solutions, and reasons to keep moving forward. Visualization is another powerful tool for mental training. High performers in every field, athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, use visualization to mentally rehearse success. Why? Because your brain can't always distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and reality. When you consistently visualize yourself succeeding, handling challenges, and achieving your goals, you program your mind to believe it's possible. This builds confidence and prepares you to perform at your best when the real moment arrives. Visualization isn't wishful thinking. It's mental conditioning. It's about seeing yourself where you want to be so you can take the necessary steps to get there. Mental training also involves setting clear intentions. Too many people drift through life without direction, hoping things will work out. But hope is not a strategy. When you train your mind, you start each day with purpose. You decide what kind of person you want to be, what energy you want to bring, and what goals you're committed to achieving. Intentions act like a compass, guiding your actions and keeping you aligned with your values. Without them, it's easy to get lost in distractions or other people's agendas. Training your mind means taking ownership of your thoughts and choices, ensuring they're leading you toward the life you want. Self-talk plays a massive role in mental conditioning. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself, especially in challenging moments. Are you your biggest critic or your strongest ally? Training your mind means shifting from self-sabotage to self-support. Instead of saying, I'll never figure this out, say, I'm learning and I'll find a way. Your words carry power. They shape your beliefs, influence your emotions, and drive your actions. Make a habit of using words that empower rather than diminish you. This doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means approaching it from a solution-oriented mindset. Consistency is the backbone of mental training. It's not about one-time efforts or quick fixes. It's about showing up for yourself every single day, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Those are the moments that build mental toughness. The days when you push through resistance, override excuses, and choose growth over comfort. Training your mind is a lifelong process. There's no finish line, just continuous improvement. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. What once felt difficult, redirecting negative thoughts, staying focused, maintaining belief, becomes your default setting. Your environment plays a crucial role in your mental training. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better, who inspire you to think bigger. Be mindful of the conversations you engage in, the media you consume, and the habits you cultivate. Your mind absorbs everything around you. If you're in a toxic environment, negativity seeps in. If you're in a growth-oriented environment, positivity and ambition become contagious. Protect your mental space fiercely. You are the gatekeeper of your mind. What you allow in will either strengthen or weaken you. Physical health also impacts mental strength. Movement, nutrition, and rest aren't just for your body. They affect your brain's ability to function at its best. Regular exercise boosts mood, sharpens focus, and builds resilience. Proper nutrition fuels your brain, while adequate rest ensures you can process emotions and think clearly. Training your mind isn't isolated from how you treat your body. It's all connected. Taking care of your physical health supports your mental conditioning, allowing you to operate at peak performance. Training your mind requires patience. Change doesn't happen overnight. There will be days when old patterns creep back in. When you catch yourself slipping into negativity or doubt, that's normal. The key is to notice it and redirect. Progress isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Each time you catch a negative thought and replace it with a positive one, you're strengthening your mental muscles. Each time you push through discomfort, you're building resilience. It's in these small, daily choices that transformation occurs. Your mind can be your greatest asset or your biggest obstacle. The choice is yours. When you train it daily, you equip yourself with the tools to face life's challenges head on. You develop the clarity to set goals, the focus to pursue them, and the resilience to keep going when things get tough. Every thought you think, every belief you reinforce, and every habit you cultivate is shaping your future. Take ownership of that process. Be intentional. Stay consistent. Your mind is capable of extraordinary things, but only if you put in the work to train it. Motivation sparks action. Discipline sustains it. Motivation is the initial burst of energy you feel when you get inspired. It's that rush you experience when you watch a powerful video, hear an inspiring story, or envision your future at its peak. Motivation can be the catalyst that gets you off the couch, the spark that pushes you to start that project, hit the gym, or take the leap toward a new goal. It's powerful, but it's fleeting. Motivation comes and goes, influenced by emotions, circumstances, and external factors. One day you feel on top of the world, ready to conquer anything, and the next, you struggle just to get out of bed. That's the trap. People rely too much on motivation to carry them through, but the truth is, motivation will abandon you. It's not designed to last. Discipline, on the other hand, is the foundation that keeps you moving forward long after the motivation has faded. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's the voice inside you that says, get up and go when your body wants to hit snooze. Keep working when your mind screams for a break, and stay focused when distractions tempt you to stray. Discipline is what transforms intentions into results. Motivation may get you started, but discipline is what ensures you finish. Think about how many times you felt motivated to begin something, maybe a new workout plan, a personal goal, or a habit change. At first, you're excited, energized, ready to make a change. But then life happens. You get tired, busy, or bored. That initial excitement wears off. This is where most people quit. They say, I just don't feel motivated anymore, as if motivation was supposed to stick around forever. It won't. That's where discipline kicks in. Discipline says, I committed to this, so I'm going to follow through no matter what. It's the muscle you build through consistent action. The more you practice discipline, the stronger it gets. And the stronger it gets, the less you need to rely on fleeting motivation. Discipline is about making decisions based on your commitments, not your feelings. Your feelings are temporary. They shift with your mood, your environment, and countless variables. If you only act when you feel like it, you'll rarely follow through. Discipline requires you to detach from how you feel in the moment and focus on the bigger picture. It's reminding yourself why you started in the first place, even when everything in you wants to quit. It's showing up to the gym when you're tired, putting in the extra hours at work when you'd rather relax, and sticking to your goals when no one is watching. Discipline thrives in the absence of motivation. It's easy to work hard when you're inspired. It's much harder and far more valuable to keep going when you're not. That's where growth happens. That's where you separate yourself from the crowd. Consistency is at the heart of discipline. It's not about grand gestures or extreme efforts done once in a while. It's about small, deliberate actions repeated over time. Success isn't built on occasional motivation-fueled bursts. It's built on the disciplined decisions you make every day. Skipping a workout doesn't seem like a big deal until it becomes a habit. Putting off that task just this once feels harmless until procrastination becomes your default mode. Discipline is understanding that every choice, no matter how small, contributes to your progress or pulls you away from it. When you consistently show up for yourself, even when it's hard, you develop self-trust. You prove to yourself that you are someone who follows through, and that belief is powerful. It strengthens your identity, making future disciplined actions easier because you've reinforced the habit of doing what needs to be done. One of the biggest misconceptions is that disciplined people don't struggle with temptation or laziness. They do, they just don't let those feelings dictate their actions. Discipline isn't about eliminating distractions or never feeling unmotivated. It's about choosing your actions despite those obstacles. It's about prioritizing long-term gain over short-term comfort. That donut looks good now, but how will you feel afterward? Skipping your study session feels nice in the moment, but how will it affect your future? Discipline is asking those questions and making choices that align with your goals, not your cravings or immediate desires. It's choosing the path that serves your future self, even when your present self resists. Delayed gratification is a cornerstone of discipline. In a world obsessed with instant results, discipline teaches you to be patient. It's easy to want quick fixes, a fast track to success, immediate weight loss, instant skill mastery. But lasting results come from sustained effort over time. Discipline is the willingness to work day after day without immediate payoff, knowing that consistency compounds. You might not see progress after one workout, one study session, or one disciplined decision, but over weeks, months, and years, those actions add up. Discipline is trusting the process, believing that your efforts will bear fruit even when the results aren't visible yet. It's staying committed when there's no applause, no recognition, just you and the work. Your environment plays a significant role in supporting or challenging your discipline. Surrounding yourself with people who value discipline makes it easier to stay on track. If your friends prioritize growth, effort, and accountability, you're more likely to adopt those behaviors. On the flip side, if you're constantly around people who make excuses, complain, or encourage shortcuts, discipline becomes an uphill battle. Discipline also involves creating systems that reduce friction and make good choices easier. If you want to eat healthier, stock your kitchen with nutritious options. If you want to exercise regularly, set out your workout clothes the night before. Structure supports discipline by removing unnecessary decision-making. When you automate good habits, you rely less on willpower and more on routine. Mindset is crucial in cultivating discipline. If you view discipline as punishment or deprivation, you'll resist it. But if you see it as self-respect, as a way of honoring your goals and potential, you'll embrace it. Discipline isn't about saying no to fun or pleasure. It's about saying yes to what matters most. It's understanding that sacrificing short-term indulgence is worth the long-term satisfaction of achieving your goals. Discipline is a form of self-love. It's acknowledging that you deserve the rewards that come from hard work and commitment. It's refusing to let temporary emotions sabotage your future. Fear and doubt often test your discipline. When things get tough, your mind will offer 1,000 reasons to quit. It's too hard. What's the point? You'll never succeed. Discipline means recognizing those thoughts and choosing not to believe them. It's reminding yourself that discomfort is temporary, but quitting lasts. Discipline is embracing the struggle because you know growth lives there. It's leaning into the challenge, understanding that every moment you push through resistance, you're becoming stronger, more resilient, and more capable. Self-awareness enhances discipline. By paying attention to your habits, triggers, and patterns, you can anticipate obstacles and plan accordingly. If you know you're less motivated in the evenings, schedule important tasks for the morning. If stress makes you reach for junk food, find healthier coping mechanisms. Discipline isn't about relying on brute force. It's about being strategic. It's setting yourself up for success by understanding your tendencies and working with them, not against them. Emotion management is a vital part of discipline. Life is unpredictable. Stress, fatigue, and setbacks will come. Discipline means not letting those emotions derail you. It's okay to feel discouraged or frustrated, but don't let those feelings dictate your actions. Discipline is choosing to keep going, to stick to your plan, even when your mood says otherwise. It's cultivating emotional resilience so you can navigate life's ups and downs without losing sight of your goals. Building discipline requires patience. Change doesn't happen overnight. There will be moments when you slip, skip a workout, indulge in a craving, or procrastinate. Discipline isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. When you fall, you get back up. You don't let one setback become an excuse to give up. Discipline is forgiving yourself for mistakes, but refusing to let them define you. It's focusing on progress, not perfection, recognizing that every step forward counts. Celebrating small wins reinforces discipline. Acknowledging your efforts, whether it's completing a workout, sticking to your schedule, or resisting a temptation, boosts motivation and strengthens your commitment. These small victories accumulate, building momentum that propels you forward. Discipline isn't just about pushing hard. It's about recognizing the journey, appreciating your growth, and using that acknowledgement as fuel to keep going. Having a clear why strengthens discipline. When you know why you're pursuing a goal, it's easier to stay committed. Your why becomes your anchor, grounding you when motivation wanes. It reminds you of the bigger picture, the purpose behind your action. Whether it's improving your health, achieving a personal milestone, or providing for your family, your why gives you a reason to push through discomfort and stay disciplined. Visualization can reinforce discipline by mentally rehearsing yourself following through on your commitments, waking up early, completing your tasks, staying focused. You prime your mind to act accordingly. Visualization isn't just about seeing the end result. It's about imagining the process, the disciplined actions required to get there. This mental practice strengthens your resolve, making disciplined behavior more natural. Accountability supports discipline. When you hold yourself accountable or involve someone else, you increase the likelihood of following through. Whether it's a coach, friend, or personal commitment, accountability adds a layer of responsibility that reinforces discipline. It's harder to make excuses when you've committed to someone else or promised yourself that you'll stay on track. Self-discipline is freedom. While it might feel restrictive in the moment, saying no to distractions, working when you'd rather relax, it ultimately gives you more control over your life. With discipline, you're not at the mercy of whims, emotions, or external circumstances. You become the driver of your actions, steering yourself toward the life you want. Discipline is about taking ownership, recognizing that you have the power to shape your reality through consistent choices. Motivation may light the spark, but discipline keeps the fire burning, ensuring that you keep moving forward day after day, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Your thoughts shape your reality. Every single thing you do, every choice you make, every outcome you experience starts with a thought. That's the power of your mind. It acts as the foundation upon which your entire life is built. If your thoughts are cluttered with negativity, doubt, and fear, those mental patterns will manifest in your actions and ultimately in your results. On the other hand, if you cultivate thoughts rooted in possibility, strength, and purpose, you set yourself up for success. The way you think determines how you perceive the world, how you react to challenges, and how you navigate opportunities. Two people can face the exact same situation and have completely different experiences based on their mindset. One sees an obstacle and gives up. The other sees a challenge and finds a way to grow. That difference is rooted in thought patterns. Training your mind to think productively isn't just a nice idea. It's essential for creating the life you want. You cannot consistently act in a way that contradicts your dominant thoughts. If you constantly think, I'm not good enough, you'll subconsciously sabotage your efforts. If you tell yourself, I'm capable, you'll look for ways to prove it. Your mind seeks to validate your beliefs, whether they empower or limit you. The thoughts you entertain regularly become habitual. Like a path in the woods, the more you walk it, the clearer it becomes. Negative thinking carves a deep mental groove, making it easier to default to pessimism, self-doubt, and fear. But the same principle works in your favor when you consciously choose empowering thoughts. By consistently directing your focus toward possibility, solutions, and strengths, you form new mental pathways. This doesn't happen by accident. It requires deliberate effort. You must become the gatekeeper of your mind, paying close attention to the thoughts you allow to take root. Not every thought deserves your attention. Just because a negative thought arises doesn't mean you have to believe it. Your brain generates countless thoughts every day. Many are random, some are helpful, and others are destructive. The key is to develop the awareness to catch those destructive thoughts before they influence your actions. When a thought like, I can't do this pops up, you have a choice. Feed it with more negativity or challenge it with a better perspective. Training your mind means choosing thoughts that serve you rather than ones that limit you. Your internal dialogue plays a crucial role in shaping your thoughts. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself, especially in challenging moments. Are you encouraging or discouraging? Imagine having a coach in your head. Would you listen to someone who constantly criticizes you, or would you perform better with someone who pushes you to believe in yourself? Your self-talk should be that supportive coach. This doesn't mean ignoring areas where you need to improve. It means addressing them from a place of possibility rather than condemnation. Saying, I'll never get this right, shuts you down. Saying, I'm learning and improving, keeps you engaged. The words you use internally become the script you live by, so choose them wisely. Focus is a powerful extension of your thoughts. Whatever you focus on expands. If you constantly focus on problems, you magnify them. If you focus on solutions, you find them. This isn't just positive thinking, it's mental strategy. When you direct your attention toward what you can control and what you can do, you empower yourself to act. Life will always present challenges, but where you place your focus determines how you handle them. Think of your mind as a flashlight. Where you point it determines what you see. If you shine it on what's wrong, that's all you'll notice. If you shine it on possibilities and solutions, you'll discover options you might have overlooked. This shift in focus doesn't erase difficulties, but it gives you the mental clarity to navigate them more effectively. Beliefs are thoughts you've accepted as truth, and they have immense power over your actions and outcomes. Many of these beliefs were formed years ago through upbringing, experiences, or comments from others, and you've been living by them without questioning their validity. Some of those beliefs might be holding you back. Thoughts like, I'm not smart enough, I always mess things up, or success isn't for people like me, are mental chains that keep you stuck. But beliefs can be changed. It starts with recognizing them and asking, is this thought serving me? Is it helping me become who I want to be? If the answer is no, it's time to replace it. Repeating empowering thoughts and affirmations isn't just wishful thinking, it's reprogramming your mind. The brain is malleable. With consistent effort, you can form new beliefs that push you forward instead of pulling you down. Your environment influences your thoughts more than you might realize. The people you spend time with, the media you consume, and the conversations you engage in all feed your mind. If you constantly hear negativity, gossip, and fear, those thoughts seep into your consciousness. On the other hand, surrounding yourself with positive influences, growth-oriented conversations, and inspiring content nourishes your mind with empowering thoughts. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or living in a bubble. It means being selective about what you allow into your mental space. If you wouldn't let someone dump trash in your living room, why let negative influences clutter your mind? Be intentional about creating an environment that supports the thoughts you want to cultivate. Visualization is a tool that taps directly into the power of thought. When you vividly imagine yourself succeeding, whether it's giving a presentation, completing a challenging project, or reaching a personal goal, you engage the same neural pathways as if you were physically doing it. This mental rehearsal builds confidence, prepares you for action, and helps turn your desired outcome into reality. Visualization isn't about daydreaming without action. It's about mentally preparing yourself to show up at your best. Your mind responds to the images and thoughts you consistently feed it. Visualize obstacles as well and see yourself overcoming them. This prepares you to handle challenges with resilience and determination. Gratitude is another powerful thought practice. When you train your mind to focus on what's going well, you shift your perspective from scarcity to abundance. It's easy to dwell on what's missing or what's wrong, but gratitude redirects your thoughts to what's present and what's working. This doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means approaching them from a place of strength. When you're grateful, you're in a better emotional state to tackle challenges and find solutions. Start with small things. Gratitude for a new day, for your health, for opportunities to grow. These positive thoughts accumulate, creating a mental environment that supports well-being and resilience. Your thoughts also influence your emotions, which in turn affect your behavior. A negative thought spiral can lead to feelings of hopelessness, frustration, or anxiety, making it harder to take productive action. Positive, empowering thoughts generate emotions like confidence, determination, and hope, which fuel constructive behavior. This thought-emotion-action cycle is continuous, which means that changing your thoughts can break negative cycles and initiate positive ones. It starts with awareness. Notice when you're caught in negative thinking patterns, pause, and consciously choose a better thought. It doesn't have to be an extreme shift. Moving from, I can't do this, to, I'll give it my best shot, is a step in the right direction. Habits of thought are just as real as physical habits. If you habitually think about worst-case scenarios, criticize yourself, or dwell on past mistakes, those patterns become default modes. Changing them requires consistent practice. One powerful method is to replace negative thoughts with questions that open possibilities. Instead of thinking, why does this always happen to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? Or, how can I respond differently? Questions direct your thoughts, and empowering questions lead to empowering answers. Your mind will seek solutions to whatever questions you pose. Make sure they're ones that move you forward. Stress and overwhelm often stem from untrained thought patterns. When your mind races with worries about the future or ruminates on the past, you disconnect from the present moment where action is possible. Training your mind involves learning to bring your thoughts back to the present. Techniques like deep breathing, mindfulness, or simply focusing on the task at hand can quiet mental noise and sharpen your focus. This doesn't eliminate problems, but it puts you in a clearer, calmer state to handle them effectively. Developing mental discipline means choosing thoughts that align with your goals and values even when it's challenging. It's easy to think positively when things are going well. The real test comes when you face setbacks, criticism, or failure. In those moments, your mind will default to old thought patterns unless you've trained it otherwise. When challenges arise, remind yourself, this is an opportunity to strengthen my mind. Use setbacks as fuel to reinforce thoughts of resilience, learning, and growth. Your identity, the way you see yourself, is shaped by your thoughts. If you constantly think, I'm not disciplined, or I'm just not that kind of person, you reinforce that identity. To shift it, you need to think like the person you want to become. If you want to be more confident, ask yourself, what would a confident person think in this situation, and adopt those thoughts. Over time, thinking like that person leads to acting like that person until it becomes who you are. Thoughts are seeds. Plant thoughts of doubt and you'll grow hesitation. Plant thoughts of courage and you'll cultivate boldness. Your mind is fertile ground and it will grow whatever you consistently plant. Be intentional with your mental garden. Pull out the weeds of negativity, water the seeds of possibility, and nurture the thoughts that align with the life you want to create. Your environment shapes your mind more than you realize. The people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, the conversations you engage in, and even the physical spaces you occupy all influence your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Every day, your mind absorbs information from the world around you, whether you're aware of it or not. If you consistently expose yourself to negativity, gossip, and doubt, those influences seep into your thinking, becoming the lens through which you see the world. On the other hand, if you immerse yourself in environments that encourage growth, positivity, and purpose, you naturally elevate your thinking and energy. You become a reflection of the influences you allow into your life. Just like your body responds to the food you eat, your mind responds to the environment you feed it. If you put junk into your system, negative news, toxic conversations, and limiting beliefs, you can't expect to have a strong, resilient mind. If you want to train your mind, you must be intentional about the environments you place yourself in. Consider the people you spend the most time with. Their attitudes, habits, and ways of thinking rub off on you. If you surround yourself with people who complain, blame others, and resist growth, it's easy to adopt those patterns without even noticing. But if you place yourself around individuals who challenge you, support you, and inspire you to be better, you naturally rise to that level. Energy is contagious. If you're constantly around negativity, you absorb it. If you're surrounded by positivity and ambition, you absorb that too. This doesn't mean cutting everyone out of your life who isn't always upbeat. It means being mindful of who you let influence your mindset the most. Not everyone deserves front row access to your mental space. You have to be the gatekeeper of your environment, protecting your peace and prioritizing influences that align with your goals. Your physical environment matters just as much. The spaces you inhabit, your home, your workplace, even your car, can either uplift or drain you. Cluttered, chaotic spaces often create mental clutter, making it harder to think clearly and focus. On the other hand, organized, clean spaces can promote calmness, productivity, and clarity. It's not just about cleanliness. It's about creating environments that support the state of mind you want to maintain. If you're trying to focus on growth and positivity, create spaces that reflect that intention. Maybe that means having a designated area for reading and reflection, keeping motivational reminders in your surroundings, or eliminating distractions that pull you away from your goals. Your environment should serve as a foundation for the mindset you're cultivating, not an obstacle you have to fight against. The content you consume also plays a massive role in shaping your thoughts. In today's world, information is everywhere. Social media, news outlets, podcasts, books, television. If you're not careful, you can easily become overwhelmed or influenced by content that drags you down. Constant exposure to negative news, mindless entertainment, or toxic online commentary can slowly poison your thinking. You might not notice it right away, but over time, it seeps into your subconscious. You start adopting pessimistic views, comparing yourself to others, or feeling anxious about things beyond your control. To train your mind effectively, you must be selective about what you allow into your mental space. Feed your mind with content that uplifts, educates, and inspires you. Listen to podcasts that encourage growth. Read books that expand your perspective. Watch videos that motivate you to take action. The information you regularly consume becomes the material your mind works with, so choose wisely. Conversations are another key part of your environment. The words spoken around you shape your internal dialogue. If you're constantly engaging in conversations filled with complaints, blame, and negativity, those thought patterns become familiar and comfortable. You might find yourself complaining more, making excuses, or focusing on what's wrong rather than what's possible. On the other hand, engaging in conversations that challenge your thinking, spark new ideas, and encourage solutions can elevate your mindset. Surround yourself with people who talk about possibilities, who focus on solutions rather than problems, and who push you to think bigger. Be intentional about the discussions you participate in. If a conversation is dragging you into negativity, redirect it or remove yourself from it. Protecting your mental environment isn't about being rude or dismissive. It's about prioritizing your growth and mental well-being. One often overlooked aspect of your environment is the energy you bring into it. Your mindset influences how you perceive your surroundings. Two people can walk into the same room and have completely different experiences based on their internal state. If you're carrying negativity, even the most positive environment won't fully uplift you. That's why it's important to manage your internal environment, your thoughts, emotions, and energy, so you can fully benefit from external influences. Practicing gratitude, mindfulness, and emotional regulation helps you carry a positive mental environment wherever you go. When you combine a strong internal environment with a supportive external one, you create the ideal conditions for mental growth and resilience. Your digital environment is just as crucial as your physical one. Social media platforms, online communities, and digital devices are constant sources of input. If your social media feeds are filled with negativity, comparison traps, or distractions, you're sabotaging your mental training. Take control of your digital space. Unfollow accounts that make you feel worse about yourself, mute negativity, and intentionally follow people and pages that inspire and educate you. Create digital boundaries. Set limits on screen time, avoid mindless scrolling, and prioritize online activities that align with your goals. Technology is a tool. It can either enhance your growth or hinder it depending on how you use it. Your habits form another layer of your environment. The routines and practices you engage in daily create the backdrop of your life. Are your habits supporting your mental growth, or are they reinforcing complacency and negativity? Habits like reading, exercising, meditating, and journaling create a supportive environment for your mind to thrive. On the other hand, habits like excessive television, procrastination, or engaging in toxic conversations create environments that stunt your growth. Audit your daily habits and ask yourself if they're serving the mindset you want to cultivate. Small adjustments can make a big difference. Replacing just one negative habit with a positive one can shift the entire trajectory of your mental state. Nature and physical movement are powerful environmental influences. Often spending time in nature can reset your mind, reduce stress, and promote clarity. Physical activity, whether it's a walk, a workout, or any form of movement, helps clear mental clutter and boost your mood. When you move your body, you shift your energy, which in turn influences your thoughts. Your environment isn't limited to walls and rooms. It includes the natural world and how you interact with it. Make it a habit to get outside, breathe fresh air, and reconnect with nature. These moments can provide mental clarity and rejuvenation that no digital device or indoor setting can match. Your environment should be a reflection of your values and aspirations. If you value growth, surround yourself with growth-oriented influences. If you aspire to be disciplined, create environments that make discipline easier. Set reminders, remove temptations, and build structures that support your goals. Your environment should pull you toward your desired future, not drag you back into old patterns. Be proactive in shaping it. Don't wait for your environment to change on its own. It won't. You have to take the lead. Whether that means cleaning up your physical space, finding new social circles, or changing the media you consume, every choice matters. Even the smallest environmental shifts can have significant effects over time. Changing the music you listen to in the morning can set a different tone for your day. Rearranging your workspace to reduce distractions can increase focus. Choosing to spend more time with encouraging people can boost your confidence. These changes might seem minor, but they compound. Your mind thrives in environments that align with your goals and values. If you neglect your environment, you're fighting an uphill battle. But if you optimize it, you create a supportive backdrop that makes mental training smoother and more sustainable. Your environment also includes the standards you set for yourself. The expectations you hold determine the environments you tolerate. If you have high standards for your mental space, you won't allow toxic influences to linger. You'll be quicker to disengage from negativity, more selective about your company, and more intentional with your time. Holding yourself to higher standards creates an internal environment of discipline and respect, which naturally extends to your external surroundings. Exposure to new environments can also trigger growth. Traveling, trying new experiences, and stepping outside your comfort zone expose you to different perspectives and ways of thinking. Stagnant environments breed stagnant minds. Sometimes the best way to train your mind is to shake up your routine and immerse yourself in something unfamiliar. These experiences challenge your assumptions, spark creativity, and broaden your worldview. Your environment isn't just something you react to. It's something you create. You have more control over it than you might think. Every choice you make, who you spend time with, what you consume, how you organize your space, either strengthens or weakens your mental training. It's not about being perfect or eliminating all negativity. It's about making intentional choices that support your growth. You can't always control every aspect of your environment, but you can control how you engage with it and what you prioritize. By taking ownership of your environment, you take ownership of your mind. Consistency is the bridge between goals and achievement. It's the repeated actions, the daily habits, and the unwavering commitment to improvement that shape lasting results. No matter how inspired you feel in a single moment, motivation without consistency fades. You can have the best intentions, the grandest dreams, and the clearest vision, but if you don't show up day after day, those aspirations remain out of reach. Consistency isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about deciding that no matter how you feel, no matter how challenging things get, you will keep moving forward. Training your mind requires that same level of steady effort. You can't read one book, listen to one motivational speech, or meditate once and expect your mindset to shift. Real transformation happens through sustained action over time. It's the person who commits to showing up even on the hard days who reaps the greatest rewards. Building mental strength is much like building physical strength. Imagine someone wanting to get fit by going to the gym once and expecting lifelong results. It doesn't work that way. Progress comes from repeatedly challenging yourself, pushing through resistance, and staying consistent even when you don't see immediate changes. Your mind operates the same way. You have to exercise it regularly, feeding it with empowering thoughts, engaging in practices that enhance focus, and consistently choosing perspectives that serve you. There will be days when you don't feel like putting in the work, days when negative thoughts creep in, when doubt feels overwhelming, or when distractions pull you away from your goals. Those are the moments that test your commitment to consistency. Showing up when it's easy is one thing. Showing up when it's tough is where growth happens. Consistency builds momentum. When you start taking consistent action, you begin to experience small wins. Those wins fuel your motivation and reinforce the belief that you can keep going. It becomes a positive feedback loop. Action leads to results. Results build confidence, and confidence inspires more action. But you have to get through the initial phase where progress feels slow. Many people give up because they don't see instant results. They plant seeds and expect a harvest overnight. Real change takes time. You might not notice the impact of reading 10 pages a day, meditating for 5 minutes, or writing down your goals each morning. But over weeks and months, those small actions compound. Consistency transforms what once felt difficult into something automatic. What starts as discipline eventually becomes habit, and habits shape your destiny. One of the biggest obstacles to consistency is the all-or-nothing mindset. People think if they can't do everything perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. But that mentality kills progress. Life will throw curveballs. You'll miss days, make mistakes, or fall short of your expectations. Consistency isn't about never faltering. It's about not letting setbacks derail you. If you miss a workout, don't skip the next one. If you have a day filled with negative thoughts, reset and refocus the next morning. Progress isn't linear. There will be ups and downs, but what matters is your ability to keep showing up. Small, imperfect actions taken consistently are far more powerful than occasional bursts of massive effort followed by long stretches of inaction. It's not about intensity, it's about sustainability. Can you keep showing up when the excitement wears off? Can you stay committed when results are slow? That's where true consistency is forged. Consistency requires clarity. You need to know what you're aiming for and why it matters. Without a clear purpose, it's easy to lose focus and get distracted. When you understand the deeper reason behind your actions, you're more likely to stick with them. It's not just about going through the motions. It's about aligning your daily efforts with your long-term goals. If your goal is to develop a resilient mindset, what actions support that? Maybe it's reading uplifting material, engaging in challenging conversations, or practicing mindfulness. Whatever it is, clarity ensures that your consistency is purposeful. It's not about being busy. It's about being deliberate. Every action should be a step toward who you want to become. Consistency transforms intentions into reality, but only if those actions are aligned with your true goals. Another key to maintaining consistency is creating systems that support your habits. Willpower is limited, but systems make success easier. If you want to read more, keep a book within reach. If you aim to exercise regularly, schedule your workouts like important appointments. If you're training your mind to focus on positivity, set reminders, write affirmations, or use technology to your advantage. Remove friction wherever possible. The easier it is to do something, the more likely you'll stick with it. Structure your environment and routines to make consistency the default choice rather than something you have to battle for every day. Systems take the guesswork out of the process. They eliminate the need to rely solely on motivation, which fluctuates. Consistency thrives when you create conditions that make success the path of least resistance. Accountability is another powerful tool in staying consistent. When you're the only person who knows your goals, it's easy to let yourself off the hook. But when you involve others, whether it's a friend, mentor, or community, you introduce an extra layer of commitment. Knowing someone else is watching, supporting, or challenging you can be the push you need to keep going. Accountability can come in many forms: daily check-ins, progress tracking, or simply sharing your goals publicly. It's not about seeking approval. It's about creating structures that reinforce your commitment. The more invested you are in the process, the harder it becomes to back out. Accountability transforms your intentions into concrete commitments. Emotions can be one of the biggest disruptors of consistency. You won't always feel like doing the work. There will be days when you're tired, frustrated, or uninspired. Successful people don't rely on feeling motivated. They rely on discipline. They understand that feelings are fleeting, but actions create results. Training your mind involves learning to act independently of your emotional state. You don't have to feel like it to do it. In fact, the more you practice acting despite your emotions, the stronger your mental resilience becomes. Each time you push through discomfort, you send a powerful message to yourself. I follow through on my commitments. That builds trust with yourself, which is crucial for long-term success. Consistency isn't about waiting for the right mood. It's about deciding to act no matter what. Tracking your progress can fuel your consistency. When you see tangible evidence of your efforts, it reinforces your motivation to keep going. Whether it's marking off days on a calendar, keeping a journal, or reviewing milestones, tracking provides a visual reminder of your journey. It helps you recognize how far you've come, especially on days when it feels like you're not making progress. Progress, no matter how small, deserves acknowledgement. Celebrating small wins doesn't just boost morale, it reinforces the behavior you want to continue. Your brain thrives on positive reinforcement. Every time you celebrate a small victory, you strengthen the habit of showing up. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's often repetitive, unexciting, and requires patience. But that's what makes it powerful. Most people give up because they're looking for quick fixes or instant gratification. They jump from one idea to the next, never sticking with anything long enough to see real results. Consistency demands that you embrace the grind, the early mornings, the late nights, the moments when you question if it's worth it. Those who succeed aren't necessarily the most talented or the most motivated. They're the ones who refuse to quit. They understand that mastery comes from repetition. You don't become excellent by dabbling. You become excellent by committing fully and showing up relentlessly. Resistance is inevitable when you strive for consistency. Your mind will offer excuses. I'm too tired. I'll start tomorrow. It's just one day. But one day turns into two, and before you know it, you've lost momentum. The key is to catch those excuses early. Challenge them. Remind yourself of the bigger picture. In moments of resistance, ask yourself, will skipping this bring me closer to my goals or further away? Often, just taking the first step is enough to break through. Start small if you have to. 5 minutes of reading, a quick walk, a few moments of reflection. Action creates momentum. Once you start, it's easier to keep going. Consistency also builds character. It teaches patience, discipline, and resilience, qualities that extend beyond any specific goal. When you develop the ability to keep showing up, you become someone who can be trusted, someone who follows through, someone who doesn't crumble under pressure. That kind of character carries into every area of your life: relationships, career, personal growth. It's not just about achieving one goal, it's about becoming the type of person who achieves goals consistently. The beauty of consistency is that it's within everyone's reach. You don't need extraordinary talent or special circumstances. You just need the willingness to keep going. It's simple, but not easy. That's why so few stick with it long enough to see the full benefits. But those who do, they experience growth that others only dream about. They develop a mental toughness that allows them to navigate challenges with grace and determination. They build lives filled with progress, fulfillment, and purpose. Consistency turns intentions into action, action into habits, and habits into outcomes. Without it, dreams remain dreams. With it, you unlock your true potential and step into the person you're meant to be.